no Jedi.
Your powers are weak, old man.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Hello there.
General Kenobi! You don't know the power of the dark side.
You start, you go. And
Hello and welcome back to the Disciples of the Force podcast. I'm your host, Austin Hyatt, and this is my beautiful co-host, Nancy Silva.
Hello.
I noticed I got to stop doing that, either like baby or Reddit accent, because on the TikTok that you posted, I was like, man, that sounds cringe out of context. I mean, it sounds cringe in context, but
Not as bad when it's...
yeah.
I know I did it too. I have a problem.
Dude, news real quick. I know we talk about streaming news all the time because I got an email from Hulu today, our shared Hulu account. Did you see that?
I saw they had sent one and they updated their services. I don't know what happened.
They're cracking down on out-of-household stuff. It's insane.
Thanks, Netflix. You really set a great precedent.
It's
awesome.
crazy. And my parents canceled Netflix this week. I'm like, screwed. Anyway.
That sucks.
That's what I'm doing it.
Well, maybe I'll just bring my iPad over and connect to your Wi-Fi.
You could.
And then have it for 3 weeks and then just keep doing that.
Is that how it does it? Every 3 weeks?
That's how Netflix does it. It's like every month it'll do a check.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're out on business or on a vacation, it doesn't want to screw you over, basically.
Well, I'm fine to do that.
Sucks on my TV, though. I just love not having commercials.
I know.
If they do it in a good way, like they in the beginning, then I'll be fine. But if they just do it stupid, like not do it when the breaks should be.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, that's a day for another thing.
I said that kind of as a segue into some Star Wars news, which I don't know if you have any.
I did see something about... You go ahead. I'll think of mine.
Oh, well, Carl Weathers died.
That was...
Rest in peace to Greek carrier Carl Weathers. Apollo Creed. Great man, great actor, great director for Star Wars.
You probably would know him from Happy Gilmore.
Right. Yes. Yes.
He was Apollo Creed. Do you remember that night when we said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Happy Gilmore's, yeah. And then you were like, he was also Apollo Creed. Like,
everybody was like, what?
Shit, he was.
Yeah, rest in peace. Died at 76 peacefully.
Super sad.
I just don't know if there's a God, honestly. Like, keep that in. I know you try to censor my religious stuff, but...
I will forget by the end of the podcast you even said that.
Joseph Biden and Donald Trump are alive in their 80s. And Carl Weathers dies at 76.
That's a good point.
There's no justice in the world. Anyway, okay, another bit of news. Disney Plus lost 1.3 million subscribers in the final quarter of 2023. Good. Eat the rich.
That's right. Which is funny that theirs failed and Netflix has succeeded.
Yeah.
I guess Disney doesn't really have that much. Like, if I didn't like Star Wars, I would not have it.
I canceled mine the other day.
Yeah.
The one that I started to finish Andor.
Yeah.
But
if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't have it either. I mean, I don't have kids. If I had kids, I would have. That's what I meant.
Here's what I'm hoping. I hope, because they've been putting more Hulu stuff on Disney Plus, right? Or was that a beta thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, if they just merge, I'll pay for it again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a way that they can get their subscribers
I think
back.
that's what they're going to do, I bet. Also, did you see, this has nothing to do with anything else, they're making a sports streaming service.
Disney is?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, ESPN. I can't remember. There's all these huge streaming people that have like certain sports, and they're going to come together and make their own sport package. I'm sure it'll be expensive, but
yeah.
And it looked like it was mainly focused for NBA and MLB, and it didn't seem like too much on NFL.
Oh, really?
Which makes sense because NFL they have their own thing going on.
That's one thing I learned this year, dude. NFL rights are crazy.
Yeah.
Thursday night, Monday, all primetime games are on a different network, and they rotate sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then. So, like, I paid for League Pass, and that's all Sunday afternoon games. You don't get anything from it. Anyway.
So dumb. Crazy.
Right.
I did see this. We saw Skarsgård said the tweet that you had sent me. Or not, he didn't say the tweet. It was a quote he had said.
Yes.
We can get to that. I did notice, I wanted to see if there's a release date. January 10th had a bunch of leaked nudes. Whoa, there was.
No, you watched the Drake video, didn't you?
Dude, I had to look it up now. I was curious, but I stopped myself.
I think that's genuinely maybe the first time I didn't look up a celebrity leak. I was like, I can do without seeing Drake.
I don't need it. Anyway, leaked news that since it wasn't on their like docket, Disney's docket didn't put Andor season 2, but that they heavily rumored it'll be the beginning of 2025, which sucks.
Andor.
Yeah,
too.
it's like a whole year.
Damn.
But I'm like, they're already done with filming, so I don't know how accurate that is. But maybe it's because they want to push it off because they have other projects. Who knows?
That would
It's
make
all
sense.
rumor, so who
Yeah.
knows?
I'm not going to live to see that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm convinced. I'm going to do it here on air. Let me get my note. Just kidding. Maybe.
Holy shit.
I'm convinced that I'm going to die before December of this year. I'm just pretty sure of that.
That's great.
Anyway,
Don't die.
Spencer's got a trip to Portugal coming up. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, I'm going to Portugal first week of March. So you won't have any Star Wars podcasting at that time. And Austin, you'll be gone that time as well. Where will you be?
Yes, to New York and Boston. Not as cool. But that is to say that our schedule will be a little messed up.
Yeah.
Nothing you fans haven't experienced before.
Yeah, sometimes we just kind of let it happen. We like to believe that if we mess up the schedule, it's like a surprise if we post it after not posting in a while. It's like Christmas for you.
It is. It should be. Have you checked our numbers after we take breaks like that? I haven't, but for my other podcast, we were like on a perfect climb. Took like a 3-week break. We will never get back to those numbers.
Yeah. We definitely we were hitting a solid like 60 for Buzzsprout. Took a break, hit 40s, constant 40s. After our little break, we've been struggling to get to the 30s. Thousands, that is 60,000.
Yeah, 30,000, 60,000. Yeah. But guess what? You're not numbers to us. You're our fans, and we care about you. So if you're still listening, we appreciate it. And please, we ask for this every week. But if there's 30,000 of you or 30 of you, you can make a suggestion, and we'll talk about whatever the hell you want. Obviously, we're talking about streaming rights for 15 minutes, so we don't have, priority over that. So
exactly, that's the thing. Is like when people have asked questions, we bring them up immediately. So don't be afraid. I see them. You can put them in comments on YouTube, or Spotify lets you do it.
Yeah,
that works. But I've seen them. Anyway, Skarsgård.
Yes. Yeah. Did I send that to you, or did you send that to me?
You sent that
was it over Instagram?
Me. Yes, it was over Instagram, I believe. No,
Here's
I just remember
Bunny's
saying I just want a release date, so it might have been a text message.
Okay. Yes, you're right. It was a text message. I don't have it right here. Or should I go find it?
You want me to grab it?
No, I'll go find it. No, I've got you right here. Boom. Okay. Oh, I sent it to you. I'm a moron. Because I was on Reddit the other day. Stellan Skarsgård said, "I'm satisfied with where it goes. It's such good writing, and it's Tony Gilroy. I really like to say his lines." Which we know. We talked all last week about that. Or 2 weeks ago.
We dug into
a
it.
super sick monologue. Great lines. We're excited about Tony Gilroy. So
yeah, it'll be good. So season 2, I mean, that's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
Yeah.
One thing I do have now, I have a Star Wars question. But do you want to Guess That Jedi first, or go to that? What do you want to do?
Let's do the question first.
So, and this is probably a stupid question. I can't think of a reason, but in Return of the Jedi, so why did Palpatine? What was his goal when he told Luke to strike him down? Like he wanted him to kill him. Remember that? He's like sitting there. He wants him to do it. Would he have stopped him? I don't get what Palpatine's goal was to do, because if he actually did, it would kill him. Or was his whole thing to like stop him and then prove like, hey, you have. I don't know. I guess I'm confused as to why you wanted him to do that.
Yeah, from what I've always understood is it's the way that Darth Plagueis taught him to be immortal was that if an apprentice or somebody strikes you down in hatred, that you can like your soul. This sounds far-fetched, but I'm pretty sure this is the canon reason. So his like life force would have taken over Luke and like lived in Luke.
Like a possession kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah.
All right.
So that's like how he would have gained immortality.
Okay.
Let's look it up though. Let's get some backup. Let me look that up.
I'm sure you're right.
Why did Palpatine, Sidious,
something dark side? I hope that doesn't get clipped when I do the AI thing.
What?
Sometimes when I do it, it'll like clip things. I'm like, I'm not posting that.
Okay, let's see. You keep talking real quick. I'm just gonna read this.
The other thing I did, I went down a rabbit hole last Friday. The work was slow, and I was on YouTube for a sec, short sec. And I was watching videos about the deleted scenes in Revenge of the Sith and other ones, which would be fun to dissect. All the deleted scenes from all the movies.
Right.
Next time we have a little break, because it does provide some insight into more of like the fall of Anakin. But I have a snippet of a scene from a deleted scene, but not a snippet because it's the actual monologue. So I got nervous, and if you're listening, you might have had a stroke because I think I might have had.
You're the editor. You can cut that if you want.
I'm not. I'm just gonna keep moving back because sometimes when I listen to the podcast, I'm listening to myself talk. I'm like, where am I going? Where's this gonna end?
Okay, here's.
Okay.
Sorry, here's Screen Rant's explanation.
The truth is, I just kept going until you found it.
Okay, and this is post. Rise of Skywalker, or the last. What the hell is that? Rise of Skywalker, that ass movie, whatever.
Fire.
So this is, I think it was more alluded to in that movie when he's telling Rey to strike him down, right?
Right.
So this says, Palpatine had learned the secret to immortal life, a dark force power called essence transfer. This allows the Sith to preserve their spirit upon death by binding it to an object, a specific geographical force, or even another person. By the time of Return of the Jedi, Palpatine's body would be coming to the end of its natural life, and he would undoubtedly have known or have been considering where to place his essence. That may well have been why he had clones, yada yada. But the son of Anakin Skywalker, who had inherited all of his father's power of the Force, would have been an ideal host. Essence transfer. That's the answer.
Okay. So it's like a Horcrux, Harry Potter.
No, that's a foreign language to me. I don't know.
It's not. The only thing that's similar is that part of his life would be into an object, like you were saying.
Oh, okay.
But that's
yeah, I have no idea what. I'm not trying to be a cool guy who doesn't know what a Horcrux is. I don't. I'll rewatch I was watching a video essay last night on YouTube, and it made me want to watch the Harry Potter movie, so I'm gonna watch it.
Hey, go with an open mind.
Sure will.
I don't think you'll love them, but you might appreciate them a little more.
So yeah, essence transfer. That answer it?
Yeah, possession.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that.
Yeah. If you want to know more about it, look it up on Wikipedia or our StarWars.fandom.com.
Or you can look it on our website.
Yeah. That'd be great. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe I'll make a website when I'm bored and just put nothing on there.
While we're on kind of questions, I'm just looking at other stuff that I sent you. This is a tweet that says, I have a theory that the Bad Batch will become such a big threat that Palpatine will ultimately dispatch Darth Vader to shut them down before it gets out of hand.
I would love that.
That'd be a cool ending.
That'd be a really cool thing. And they all die?
Yeah.
Man. Because, they have to, right?
Yeah.
They could, I guess.
They could, but.
We know Rex lives for however long he
lived.
But I would love for them to love all of them, like I said.
Yes.
But it'd be cool to see him die. From the hands of Vader?
It would be cool.
Imagine this guy killing you.
That's literally crazy.
I can stop doing that.
Part of me is torn because it's like, they seem like kind of small potatoes to Darth Vader. But at the same time, like, all the stormtroopers and like special agents they've dispatched to kill the Bad Batch have been successful. So like it would take somebody a level above.
Have they sent the Inquisitor? No, because they wouldn't. No.
No.
Listen, before you like that's such a stupid thing you just said. Sometimes in animation my mind crosses. Okay, I was watching Rebels during Bad Batch.
And
there's Inquisitors.
Yeah.
So get off my back.
Yeah.
But there's not.
I was gonna say. Oh. Speaking of wanting them to die, I do want them to die.
Kill
them. By Darth Vader, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I was going to send it to you, but I watched this really cool video from Screen Crush. You know our boy, Ryan Erie.
I know my boy.
And he kind of goes off about like how there's too many Jedi. And I've heard that argument a lot, and I've been like, there's not really. But he went more into depth, and he got like more hateful about it. But he talks about like how Ezra like was well known within the rebellion before Luke even came on the scene. But then when Luke comes on the scene in the movies, they're like, oh, this is a Jedi. We don't know anything about this. But like every person in the rebellion should have been like, oh, you're just another Jedi like Ezra. And like by the end of season 2 of Rebels, Ezra, or by the beginning of season 2 of Rebels, or season 3 maybe, Ezra is like way more advanced than we ever see Luke on screen. Now, obviously, there's like production details that go into that in animation versus live action, but like Ezra's way more advanced before he disappears than Luke ever gets while the rebellion's still a thing. So it's like it totally takes away from Luke's story. And yeah, I think we should retcon Ezra out of existence. Ahsoka's dead by Order 66. I want that. I'm converted. So
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
you should.
In my mind, in my Star Wars mind, I just think no, it's just because they were in different circles, but it's not because Leia's there. She's
Right.
shown in Rebels.
She interacts with them. Yeah.
She interacts with them.
Yeah, I think it just makes it a little bit cheaper. I think Ryan Airy has a point, and I think you should check that video out. It's pretty cool.
All right, I'll watch it.
Send it, yeah.
I mean, it's I think, and I mean, at that point, it's hard because we love Jedi. That's what makes Star Wars so fun and cool.
Yeah.
And so whenever they make a new thing, they want to throw a Jedi in there.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but I think they should have. And I get not making like making Rebels, but like predating it or making it a different timeline of Star Wars. But it wouldn't have done nearly as well because you're not having cameos of people that you know. And I get it, but yeah, I agree. It definitely cheapens it.
That's what's so great about the original trilogy is like the scarcity of the Jedi. We only ever see 3 in the original trilogy, so it's like amazing when you see them. But now it's like, oh well, a new Star Wars project will just throw a Jedi or 2 in there, and that gets tiring. And then like Sabine, she's becoming a Jedi, whatever. So you have like 3 pretty much Jedi versus 2.5 Sith people. 3. 3.5. Rounds up to 4. That's why I'm holding up 4 for the viewers, idiots. But there's the Inquisitor that we never saw and turned out to be just gas.
Yeah.
Never saw the face, I should say.
Yeah.
There's Shin Hati. There's Balin.
Yeah.
Troll. And then there's a white girl name. What's her name? She's got like a non-Star Wars name. The daughter of Dathomir.
Elizabeth?
Oh, anyway, all this was sorry. Going back to that point, yeah, Elizabeth. Oh, gosh, I love that name. Who do I know named Elizabeth? It's just hot as hell.
All right.
Oh, your mom. That's right.
Okay.
No, the reason Ryan Airy went on that rant initially was because of. Oh, I'm gonna swear. I can't remember names right now. Asajj Ventress being in the Bad Batch trailer. He was like, it's too much. Like, she's died in canon. Why bring her back? And why try to explain it if she has a satisfying end?
Yeah, I agree. We're at a time where it's like, you can't put Jedi. That's why Andor does so well, because you don't need to have Jedi.
Yeah, dude, if they put one in season 2, I'm out.
That would really suck.
Yeah, they wouldn't, though.
Yeah, because Rogue One had no Jedi, except for Vader.
There's Guardians of the Wills and stuff, too.
That's true.
But they're not Jedi.
Yeah.
That's what's great about it.
Exactly. And so it's like, I think they know it's successful. The first season was successful and Rogue One was successful. They don't need to do it season 2. If they do, Dave Filoni, I'm coming for your neck.
Yeah, for real. Okay, sorry. That was just a rant, but you should watch that video. It was really interesting. And he converted me completely. So.
All right, I'll watch it and I'll bring my thoughts. So I have this deleted scene I'm going to read, but do you want to Guess That Jedi first?
Go ahead and read that. We're on our tear. We'll just do Guess That Jedi before we get into Andor.
Oh, can you excuse me, viewers, for burping? Sorry about that. All right. So what did I want to read here? There's a part. So the scene is, I'll read you the little snippet.
Yeah.
Interior, Coruscant, Senate office building, main hallway, day. Now you know exactly what I'm talking about. They enter the main hallway of the Senate office building. They pass several senators, including Representative Jar Jar Binks from Naboo. I'm not going to do Jar Jar's voice.
I'll do it.
He says, "Hello, Annie. Good to see you."
Hi, Annie. Good to see you. That's Mickey Mouse. Never mind. I'm not going to do it.
Anyway, the guy. Sorry, I got to find the part that I actually want to read. Okay. So, anyway, Anakin goes to talk to Palpatine.
Sure.
Palpatine's chilling. He turns back. Anakin turns back to the Chancellor because they had a little conversation. And this is what Palpatine says. There are rumors in the Senate about Master Kenobi. Many believe he's not fit for this assignment. Anakin says, not fit? Why would anyone think that? Palpatine says, they say his mind has become fogged by the influence of a certain female senator. Anakin, visibly upset, says, that's ridiculous. Who? Palpatine, no one knows who she is, only that she's a senator. Anakin said, that's impossible. I would know. Palpatine said, sometimes the closest are the ones who cannot see. And then Anakin becomes worried. His face is kind of worried. So, then the next thing you see of Anakin, if this would have stayed in, is when he comes back to his place with Padme, and he says, Obi-Wan was here, wasn't he? And you can see he's very upset when he says that, which doesn't make too much sense. Like, why would he care? But Palpatine's putting this doubt in his mind that they're having an affair, which adds into this whole nother thing and like anger that he has towards Obi-Wan when he sees them. And like, I don't know, when I saw that, I was like, that deleted scene would have put a lot more.
Yeah, and then by the end of the movie, when they're on Mustafar and Obi-Wan comes out with his hands on his hips, looking all cool,
sexy,
and Anakin's like, "You're with him,"
and
then he like almost kills Padme because of that confrontation.
Exactly,
like, that would have made a lot more sense.
So it's like, why did they cut that?
Well, there were so many things they cut. I mean, like drop the 5-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith. Dude, for real.
I want them to do it so bad.
I think there's a cut on YouTube where somebody's stitched all the filmed deleted scenes together. Yeah.
Because I've seen people because the guy who posted this was one of the guys who remastered one of the deleted scenes with special effects, and he was explaining all of it. And there was another deleted scene with it. I guess I wrote that down. Another deleted scene. Padme is hiding something. Oh, that's that scene. I think you've seen it. It's when all the senators go to talk to Palpatine and Anakin's behind him.
Yeah.
In there, when she's leaving, Palpatine puts it back in his head. He says, Padme's hiding something. He's like, no, there's no way. So he keeps just feeding this little doubt that she's cheating on him. Wow. It was,
good stuff.
But I think those three, like the two ones that would have built into this were only like 6 minutes long.
Right.
But I get it. I guess you
know. No, yeah, you
I'm not in the business, so.
Well, I mean, it wasn't George's decision either to cut all that stuff, I don't think. So.
Oh, we know his wife's the master. Well, his first wife, because she cut the first Star Wars and saved it, basically. Fun fact for you. All right.
She also cut Taxi Driver, made it one of the best films of all time.
She did. She's good at what she does.
Marsha Lucas.
I was going to say, what is her name? Thank you for letting me know.
Marsha, I don't know her non-married name, but Marsha Lucas.
Anyway, thought that was really cool, and I think I might go down a rabbit hole of those, and you can come with me one of these days, and we'll look into them.
Dude, hey, when we're not doing a series, we could do that.
I think it'd be good.
I was thinking I'm also going to look at like Reddit. That's why I was on Reddit the other day. It's like trying to get questions.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff's good.
Yeah.
I followed like 3 pages when I was trying to promote our podcast on the pages, and they instantly kicked me out. I re-entered under a new name. And every time you look, there's like something really interesting. I'm like, how's there still this much cool discourse around Star Wars?
Dude, well, here's the thing. I know Reddit gets such like a bad rap. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially like for my job, IT related, anything I've ever needed, if I just put Reddit at the end,
dude,
whole thing, I'm like, holy shit, this is money. It's exactly what I need.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I was going to say about it is also people are just ruthless on Reddit.
Yeah.
Like I one time when I was getting into bug bounties, like doing hacking, ethical hacking, I was asking a question like what people would do. And this guy responds, he goes, this is the 18th iteration of this stupid question. What do I need to do? How do I do it? He's like, just start doing it and you'll figure it out as you go along. I was like, I want to kill myself. I felt so bad. Luckily, other people chimed in. They were very nice and like comforting, but I was like, what a dick. Like, I was a dick.
Dude, I love it because like, I'm like, how are these people this committed to the community? Because I'm on 4 subreddits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, there's the Star Wars ones.
I need to get
There's
on that.
Letterboxd.
Okay.
I'm in the bird watching subreddit because I saw some eagles by my house one day and joined. Sent some pictures and I said, guys, is this a bald eagle? Can't really tell. It might be an adolescent. And they're like, it's a bald eagle. Like, so much support. So cool. That's the first time I've ever posted on Reddit.
It's awesome.
And then I'm part of another way. But anyway, it's crazy how dedicated people are. They'll be like, in the subreddit or in the thread, they'll be like, this is the wrong subreddit. Or like, you're breaking a rule of the subreddit. And it's like, how do you know the rules of the subreddit?
People, dude, they know.
Last thing here. Okay, another example. Sorry. I want to dye my Carhartt jacket because I got this new Carhartt jacket, which I love. Mm-hmm. But the one that I just bought is like just slightly lighter than that. So I want to dye it green.
Okay.
I looked up on r/dyeing the other day. All these people are like, no, you can't dye a Carhartt jacket, like all this shit. And I was like, I don't know. It's just crazy that people are so active on Reddit. I love Reddit.
They are.
I love it.
Very active. Like, I'm always surprised too. I'm like, no one's going to answer this question? I type it in. Just like you're saying, 20 people responded to this weird, obscure question. I'm like, how do all of you know this?
It's insane.
It's great. That's awesome.
Okay. Want to get into
Guess That Jedi?
Let me take a detour real quick. I
You
baited you.
did. You baited me good.
Reading the second Tron book,
Okay.
listening
Better?
to it this time.
Okay.
Kind of. There's one thing I don't like.
Is it his mind? Because I hated his mind.
Oh, Anakin's mind?
No, when in the first book it's really bad. When Thrawn is like analyzing people. Yeah, that was rough.
That is annoying.
It's not as bad in the second book.
I also don't love the guy's voice for Anakin.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of cringe, but it's how Hayden Christensen kind of sounds.
Yeah,
so it's worse. I didn't like that his first adventure when he's like trying to find Padme when it's Anakin during the Clone Wars and Thrawn. They're on Batu at Blackfire Outpost. I just felt like that was a little money grabby. I don't know. You know Batu?
Yeah, that's in this. Is that a sequel? I don't know that.
You've been there. You've been to Blackfire Outpost.
Oh, and it's Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, it's what Galaxy's Edge is called.
Oh, it's called Batu?
It's Batu. You're on the planet Batu, and you're at Blackfire Outpost.
I didn't know.
So
I was just called it Galaxy's Edge. I had no idea.
Blackfire Outpost. So I was listening to it, and I was like, this is kind of cringe. Like, are they trying to endorse their parks in the book? I don't know. Just weird.
Hey, I probably would have been cringed out if I would have known that. I didn't know. So
okay, so sorry if you're
no, real
not
fans.
Familiar.
Here's the thing. I think most real fans did get that. I don't know. I never knew that.
That's the thing about Batu, or like the appeal of Galaxy's Edge is like it's not connected. You're in the Star Wars universe, but like you don't have any stories that happen there, so like you feel like you're living in it. I don't know.
Yeah, that is weird. That is dumb.
That's one thing I like, but I just don't think I like Star Wars books. Dude, Dune, I read that in like 2 weeks. I fucking love Dune.
Really?
Star Wars now, I can't listen.
Can't listen to it.
I can't read it. Eat it.
Interesting.
So yeah, sorry.
Hey, well, you gave it a shot.
I'm gonna finish it. And I'm gonna finish the trilogy for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like the second one, you're not gonna like the third one.
But maybe I will. Maybe it's like a different.
Yeah, it is different than the other ones. But I liked Eli Vanto.
Yeah.
He's not in the second one. He's in the third one. Cool. He's not in the second at all.
Because that's what, like, I wanted to know. That's the other thing is, I love nostalgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I kind of wanted to know what was going on. There's a big cliffhanger at the end of book one.
I know.
I kind of want to know what's going on with that. And then we're like hours and hours of listening to Anakin and Thrawn, which is cool. I love that adventure, but like, whatever.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember if they get to it all in 2. They closed that in 3 for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you leave. I feel like it doesn't get resolved at all in 2 from my memory.
Okay,
but maybe I'm just putting them together.
My the thing I'm most excited about is figuring out about Eli Vanto and like what he's doing in the Chiss Empire.
Yeah,
I want to know everything.
That's really fun. That's all third book.
Okay, cool.
That is.
I'll just skip the rest. Okay, let's get into Guess That Jedi. Unless you got something else.
No, that's all I had.
Me?
No, I'm not distracting anybody.
Okay. No baby voices during this.
Yeah,
gonna go on TikTok.
This. Yeah, we gotta be smart.
Okay, let's do Guess That Jedi. Spencer's guessing today. I have the Jedi, Austin. So we'll just go through it like normal. Shall we? Do you feel ready?
Nope.
How confident do you feel?
Out of 10, I'm a 2.
Okay.
Honestly.
2. Perfect.
Have not even tried to study anything.
Okay, so this guy is a male.
Okay.
His race is Nautolan species.
All right.
An amphibious species. His homeworld is Glee Anselm. Any ideas?
No.
Okay, he was trained by Yoda, but we don't have like an actual master listed in canon. He's 6'5", so he's a tall king. Hashtag tall king. 1 inch shorter than my boy Jaren, so that's embarrassing. He had a Padawan that was a Mon Calamari named Nadar Veb, and you know this guy. You've seen him.
He's in Mandalorian, right? No, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I'm thinking of keep going.
But you've seen this guy. He's like unbearable. You'll know when it's revealed. Because I didn't remember his name, but that's like maybe the only Jedi Mon Calamari we've seen.
Okay.
This guy has green skin, green lightsaber, had a brief relationship with Aayla Secura, which sign me up. I'm jealous for that. Side note, I used to have I still do. I'll go get it and show you after the pod, but I used to have an action figure of him from the non-canon animated 2D
Clone
Wars, and he's shirtless. And you know that bit in Family Guy where it's like, you want your kid to not be gay when he grows up, don't get him homoerotic toys. This is definitely a homoerotic toy. Like, he was my favorite because he was shirtless and had a six-pack.
Is it Kit Fisto?
Boom! Nice. My last hint here was he was killed by Sidious. So.
See, the thing is, in my mind, when you said that he was, like, I was picturing a frog the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. And so I literally, in my mind, I was just picturing a calamari just with the lightsaber.
Right.
I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this. I got it in the end. That was hard.
So yeah, there you go. You got it. I think that's right.
Hey, thank you.
But yeah, you'll have to go back and revisit the Clone Wars episodes that he's in, because he's awesome. He's badass. He's got that Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
But also the episode with his Padawan Nutter Bon, where they're like storming General Grievous's personal lair, and his old Padawan is just like a bitch.
Oh yeah, he's annoying as hell. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about now.
So yeah, you got it, Kit Fisto.
Yeah, in my mind, I was thinking of. I think it's what's that? Is it the Mandalorian where the opening scene is it's like the prince, is it calamari and
yes.
Okay. In my mind, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, really?
Said it. Yeah. I was like, he's not a Jedi.
Yeah, no. So his Padawan was
just a Jedi. Okay,
Cal.
yeah, gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Okay. Well, shall we get into Andor?
What?
Okay.
Got a sticky note this time.
Oh, great.
I don't remember why I didn't use my phone. Oh, I was standing. I have to stand now. I work every 2 hours. I make myself stand.
That's good.
And I didn't want to be on my phone, so I just wanted to wait. Anyway, my first thing was about Mon Mothma. About when she's talking to her husband about gambling.
So cool, dude.
Yeah. She's like, I know. He's like, they're lying to you, and they're going off back and forth. I'm like, to him, he probably just thinks she's just going. Like, what
he thinks she's being crazy.
Yeah, but she's like, dude, if they find anything, they're gonna get us.
Made me wonder about like when my wife is acting like a crazy bitch and just saying nonsense. I'm like, oh, does she think the Empire's listening right now? Like that's the only explanation. I've gone through them all.
That's the only thing it could be. She thinks the Empire's listening.
Just kidding. But no, it's so great because it's alluded to all season that she knows that he's not trustworthy, the driver.
Yeah.
And her husband is just a bitch. Like he's annoying all the time. So it just comes to a head. It's great.
Yep.
And it explains away all of her financial stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight.
Yeah, she's very smart on her to do that. I just plant that little seed.
Give me less shows about Jedi. Give me shows about Mon and Mother effing Mothma, bro. If we had a show like post Andor where she's like getting the rebellion together, because by the time of Return of the Jedi, certainly, but before this as well, she's like head top honcho with Leia of the rebellion. Dude, if I just get to watch that of her like organizing stuff and getting support and stuff, I'm there.
That'd be good. That's a good girl power movie too, right there.
Yeah, and
Leia and like, Mothma.
Dude, that'd be
great. I'd watch that.
That it would be dismissed by, well, we got a fighter jet.
Going to war.
Spencer and I grew up. Well, Spencer's from California, and we grew up with the Beatles. Spencer and I grew up in Syracuse, Utah, where we have fighter jets fly over our head like 6 to 8 times a day. We're right by Hill Air Force Base. Which
is funny because I am genuinely just used to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I was only noticed because I was like recording. The other day, because we're right by the base, our house.
Yeah.
Was flying over, and Ellie was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You don't hear that?" I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah, it happens all the time."
It's crazy. I remember I was working at a storage facility. I still work there. Sorry, I'm poor, listeners. But this guy came to rent, and he was moving up from Salt Lake, which for reference is 25 minutes away, not that far. And he's like, "I've heard a lot about the jets. Like, do you have any issues with those?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "The jets." I was like, "Don't know what you're talking about." Yeah. I'm like, "From Salt Lake International?" "No." It's like the fighter jets. I was like, oh yeah, I guess they're a problem if you're a pussy,
Well, because if you think if you do, like, I remember one day, like, I tried to fix it and trying to listen to it. They do pass a
Dude.
lot.
Sorry, Star Wars fans. We just go off sometimes. But I heard 2 of them because I'm kind of like semi. That's like partially. That's part of my autism is fighter jets.
Yeah, they're cool.
So we have F-35s at Hill Air Force Base, and they're like super super loud. They're way louder than the F-16s we had growing up. But anyway, I heard loud. 2 like bang super fast. I've never heard them going that fast. The other day when I was at work, I genuinely thought there was like something going on.
Probably UFO, dude.
Yeah.
Probably trying to go catch it.
Yeah.
No, but they're louder for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Next
Oh yes. We're talking about Leia and Mon Mothma in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Probably get canceled by the Fox Republicans because they wouldn't want a woke mob woman movie, but I would love it. I would eat it all up.
Amazing. The next thing I have is about the manifesto overlay, basically.
Yeah, so cool.
That, like, the cinematography, like, just going past and showing each person in their situation at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bake's going through hell. Luthen just, like, sitting there contemplating what he's going to do, his next moves.
It's fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that, but I love that.
It's so good.
Dude, Cinta, I need to rewatch all of this stuff because Cinta just blows me away. I'm gonna watch everything that she's saying. She's so effing hot.
Blondie, right?
No.
Who's Cinta?
Am I saying that right? Cinta?
No, you're saying it right.
Blondie's girlfriend.
I was trying to bait you.
Yeah. The girl with the dark hair. Gosh, she's so hot.
She's very pretty.
Okay, sorry, I didn't take any notes, but yes, go on.
Okay, I do have a question. So there's a part where, the Empire's in the room talking. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna." They fell into the trap just like we wanted him to. And the girl, dude, I sucked at names in the series. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Empire woman.
Yeah.
She calls in and she's like, "Why did you? I needed to be there." Yeah. What happened? I like lost the whole plot. That thing was going on the whole time. Not the whole time, but like halfway through. I don't know, because they faked the death basically.
Yeah.
And they tried to bring these people in and trap them. Was that anything important?
This was huge within the story. So it was another major. Yeah.
Oh.
It was another major rebel cell.
Okay.
Who Luthen and Saw Gerrera are familiar with and have relations with.
Okay.
So the meeting between Luthen and Saw Gerrera at Saw's base.
Yes.
That's what they're talking about. Like.
Okay.
This is another group going on. And then the spy that we have in the ISB, the guy with the cool 70s mustache.
Yeah. Sex.
He is like, we need to warn this rebel cell before they walk into this massacre. Because they've been on they're going to do something to damage the Empire, but they're on the Empire's radar, so they know it's going to be a massacre.
Mm-hmm.
That rebel cell doesn't know that. They don't know they're walking into a trap. Luthen does, and that's one of the things where, I think it was last episode or 2 before, where he's like, "You're way more valuable to me than 30 men."
That's right.
So we can't let them know, or else they'll know there's a mole in the ISB.
It's kind of like the Enigma.
The Ligma? The what?
The World War II, that whole movie about the guy who they cracked the code, but they had to select things that they could stop.
Oh, yes.
Is it called the Enigma?
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, to your point of her like not wanting them dead, it's just a difference in ideology, because she's like, yeah, we need all these people alive so we can, and that's what's really cool about her character arc, is that she understands the value of information over just like extermination. So you see that later in the episode too, where she has to like keep reminding these imperial goobers to not kill Cassian because she wants him alive. First, just like in the Empire, you just stamp it out,
Right.
And she's like, we need to find the source. We need to cut off the head of the Hydra. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah. The name of the movie was Imitation Game.
Imitation Game. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes. And the name, Enigma was the name of the machine.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. Okay. Anyway, side note. But yeah, which I do love this whole thing where she's like trying to make them make sense. And kind of change, like, no, we can't just kill him. We need him.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, think of how valuable he is. He knows who Luthen is, which is exactly why Luthen wants to kill him.
Right. Yep.
So, let's see here. I think I have another question. Okay, yeah, there's another thing. My brain kind of just stopped working halfway through watching this.
That's okay, dude. I was playing Madden while I was watching it.
That's why you do it. You're doing it from your phone?
Yeah.
Nice. So, the ISB wants Cassian.
Yeah.
But they don't know that he was a part of the Aldani attack.
Yeah, that's the whole source of the power struggle. She's like, I know he's more important than we're letting up. And she knows that in part because of Cyril Kane. Because he was so weird about it and gave her all that information.
Right.
And that's what kind of binds them together, is like they have a common goal. But yes, so the ISB knows about him, but they're like, yeah, we don't care anymore. And I think it was interesting when she is saying, like, something to the effect of, like, we should have kept some of those people alive. What use does, all those dead bodies do for us if they can't tell us the story?
Right.
And her commanding officer, I can't remember his name, but he's like, this wasn't about that. This is to get a taste of failure out of the Emperor's mouth, like from Aldani.
Gotcha. He wanted just to win. That's right. They do say that.
So that's the theme. Like, that's a common theme in the manifesto. It talks about the effort needed to keep tyranny alive. And like you see it throughout the whole series, that's part of this effort, is like, they don't really care about fixing anything. They just care about, like, perpetuating this image of everything's okay. So, like,
that makes sense.
They'll take a major win over, like, getting to the source of the problem. So
that's a good point. Yeah,
really
they just want the appearance that everything's fine.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Cool.
The next thing we have is that I just love in this whole episode, they build suspense so well. Like, you're just like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh, something's going to happen. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And you're like, on the edge of your seat. Like, I had to stop working for a second because it's just like zoned to, like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And I know what's going to happen. I've seen it, but they can capture it so well.
Yeah, it's so cool. Where I think that's, like, most true is when Marva's hollow recording is going off, and you can just feel that tension rising.
Yeah.
Like, they've already prepared for, like, a show of force, and then when it gets to the point where she's, like, egging everybody on to rebel, and he comes over and he, like, tosses his jacket over the projection and kicks the droid, and that's, like, the thing that sets everybody off. It made me think of, like, this was actually kind of profound when my brother-in-law said it. At the time, I was like, you're a moron. When just right after the George Floyd protests, or right when they were starting in Salt Lake, we were watching news coverage of, like, a pretty aggressive protest forming. And then they brought out all the cops in riot gear, and he was like, riot gear is just an invitation. And I was like, you're a moron. Like, nothing's going to happen. It's Utah. And then, like, they're throwing water bottles at the cops in riot gear. Within an hour, there's, like, fighting, and police cars flipped over and set on fire. Like, that's how it goes down.
That's how you push it,
Yeah, like, tightening that grip of tyranny or fascism. I'm not saying that's what happened to the U.S. police force, but it is. That sets off those rebellions, and it's really cool to see that in Star Wars. Like we said, like, it's just a mature take on everything, and it's really cool.
Exactly. Sidestep there. Someone one time commented on that TikTok we posted. They go, "Andor's not for kids." I'm like, okay, yeah, the cheese, you moron. It's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you caught this. There was during that scene of the fight when it begins, a guy gets knocked out or dead. I like to think he's dead. He's on the ground, and they go and they handcuff him. Did you see that?
I didn't.
They handcuffed him. Like, I think that dude is dead.
Yeah.
Like, the way he fell, and they still handcuffed him. I'm like, that speaks, like, either that's saying, like, they're so formed to carrying out what they were told to do, or they're just showing how dark they are.
Yeah,
handcuffed a dead guy. I don't know. It was cool. It was like split second. It was such a cool detail.
Okay, we will make more watch it.
Yeah, you should look it up. Too. What do I? Sorry, I don't mean to do the voice. Forgive me. Synthus?
Synta? I think it's Synta. C-I-N-T-A.
When she stabs,
yeah,
that was awesome. I don't know. We don't think we know his name, but he's an Empire agent guy.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It took me by surprise, even though I've seen it. I was like, man, she just split-second decision just kills the guy.
Yeah.
And then I was jealous of that guy, and I was like, I want to get stabbed by Sansa really bad.
Well, I liked it because it was like the stab. He's like, whoa, and then she does the second like.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's awesome.
it's just not expected, you know. You expect a dialogue or like a bit of tension, and she just takes it out.
Right, because like this whole time they've kind of you've been like, oh, you're gonna find out about her, what she's doing there.
They're basically fulfilling the same role on different sides.
Exactly,
being spies among the people. She just takes it out.
Takes
really cool.
And that's why the rebellion wins, because they asked.
Yep.
Unlike him, who's, what are you doing, him? Bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's also why I ruined my Nona February. Just kidding.
I don't think you do that in February. You can do it any month.
I can do it any month.
That's right.
It's every day. It's like I'm not going to do it. I'm joking. To whoever's listening.
He's not joking.
Tim, I'm sorry if he still listens. That's really crass. I'm sorry. I should stop sorry.
Your class.
Yeah, my guy. I love it.
Dude, the other day there's a kid. He said something about Star Wars. He's my ward in class, and I almost said, "Oh, I have a podcast." Like,
yeah,
they can never know.
Yeah, so don't do that.
Anyway, I did love like the little 50 cal sentry gun that they had.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing when it shot people, just rocked them back.
Super cool.
That was really cool. Okay, here's something that I would have put in, and that's just me being like going back to the old Star Wars. There's an stormtrooper going up the tower where the guy's hitting the ding, hitting the bell, and the guy sees him and he hits him and he knocks it off. Right? He goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Why didn't they put the Wilhelm
scream? That would have been badass.
I was like, that's like such a good callback. Like, I know you're trying to go a different approach, more serious, but that would have been a good little callback.
Yeah. But there's like no callbacks.
I love it. And then maybe that's why they did it. It's just kinda, but I would have loved that.
Two things. Another thing about it, like going away from regular Star Wars, is she says bastards in her speech. We've heard a couple times. We've heard shit, bastard in this series, and probably hell, I'm sure. But
now I have to put X-weighted now on this freaking
I'm
podcast.
sorry.
Explicit. We just lost our freaking thing.
Also, I remember when this episode came out and I was watching Easter egg videos and stuff, everybody thought that instead of saying fight the Empire, she said F the Empire in, like, if you look at her lips closely, it looks like she says F the Empire.
You need to edit it after?
Yeah. Maybe.
I'll have to look at it.
Like, they never intended for it to end up like that, but they were like, we want the viewer to think she said this.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
It wasn't like they got censored, they just...
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't there. Tony Gilroy, let us know. I know you're listening. Another thing I liked about you were talking about the stormtroopers is they're not involved for like minutes. Like everything's going, and then the commanding officer has to like turn. He's like, "You get up there," and like they're just standing there. Like that just goes to show like how they're just pawns, you know?
Yeah. They're just sitting there waiting to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Which is, if you've listened to from a certain point of view, they're not. They have feelings.
Yeah.
They're real people.
Yeah.
Okay. What I do love is I'm just gonna keep taking time so I can just think of what I'm about to say.
You're looking up a name. You're looking up a name, and you're a fraud.
What do you think? What do you think the name I'm gonna?
Blonde eyes, B girl.
Yeah,
Dedra Mira.
I forget that. I don't know why. Anyway, I love. So she's in the middle of the fight, right? Everything's going crazy. She doesn't know she's freaking out, and finally Cyril comes and saves her, and they're in that little part, and she's like freaking out.
I love it.
And it's like shows you that she's like this whole time she's so calm, but she's never been in war. She's never been in conflict. She's just a bureaucrat.
Yep.
Love like that, just small little detail.
Mm-hmm. So great. So great.
And then you have Cyril, who's never done it before. We can remember his first interaction, and then now he's kind of whatever. Like, I've seen this kind of. I don't know. It's just such a small thing to make so much story detail.
I love it. That's great.
Amazing. Sorry about that. Sometimes I have bad handwriting, and though I did pretty good for the most part. This last one, I might need the Euroman.
The Euroman. For those of you who don't know,
yeah, we're good. That's what it was. This last shot with Mon Mothma, her hubby, the daughter.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And that like that just there's so much emotion going on between the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
You have Mon Mothma's face of just disgust. She's just like, oh my gosh. Husband's kind of like, eh. And then the daughter though, she's like kind of like excited. You know? She's like, oh, this is kind of fun. He's a cute guy. I don't know, just that imagery. Like those two have been where these two were.
Yep.
and like you could just see how it didn't work, but she's just so naive and so new. I don't know. I just love it. It's so smart.
Yeah, it's so great, and again, like it's built up so well. Like, and that should be normal storytelling. Is like it's alluded to the whole time, and then it comes to fruition.
Yep.
But it's not. In Star Wars, we see like filler episodes and stuff go sideways. What I love about it is like the whole series. Mon Mothma's like kind of looking down on her daughter for being so traditional to their planet's ways.
Right.
And so like following this tradition is like her dream come true, you know, for the daughter.
Right.
And so it makes sense that like she'd be all for it. And even the dad is like more for it.
Yeah, he's not. He's just kind of there. Like his face isn't in disgust. It's just like, yeah, we've done this.
But Mon Mothma knows she's like compromising everything and it's so interesting. Again, I just think she's such a cool and complex character. Like, she knows this is everything she hates in life. And, like, getting in bed with bad money. But she knows it's for a good cause. Like, it's just so cool. So cool.
Did you sell your daughter for the rebellion?
Yeah, I would. I'd do anything for the rebellion. Straight up.
Straight up.
Let's start one, honestly. Really antsy around election time here.
Oh, man.
Spencer and I are going to start a political podcast.
We go over and fight.
We are. It's actually this one. We're just going to convert it slowly. We're just going to start converting into it.
No, we're not insurrectionists. Spencer was there on January 6th. I was not. I do not support that. But he wanted to see
I took a wrong turn, and all of a sudden, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I will never be famous in my life. But could you imagine? Think someone clips this and was like, he was there.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was a joke. That's what I think happens to people who like are famous. Like, they're like, no, I was joking.
Right.
You can't be serious. Like, no, dude. Because did you see that thing? Super quick side note. It was this girl who was on a podcast with this, and she's talking about a millennial or Gen Z guy said, hey, I can't make it into work today.
I did see that.
And you see the guy who responded?
Yes. And he was like,
we can talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Turns out that dude was doing a skit.
No.
Wasn't even the guy.
What?
And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought he was being serious. And then, but after you hear it was a skit, you go back and watch his video, like, oh, he does seem like he's kind of joking.
That's crazy, dude. If you look over TikTok right now, my most recent search is whatever the girl's name was, corporate apology.
Yes.
Because that's
because she does, and then she goes on her podcast a couple of days later. She's like, so there was a huge, like, because she thought he was an employee. And she's like, oh, shoot. And then she's like, yeah, wasn't even, I've never met that guy in my life. I didn't know. I just was, we did research. He was just joking. And she's like, and I've been getting just threats, and people just been coming at me.
That's insane.
And it wasn't even him.
Because another layer of that is, sorry, viewers, this is good stuff, though. You got to go find this.
Yeah, go watch it.
That whole podcast is just listener-submitted stuff.
Right.
So she wasn't even saying it was her thing.
Exactly.
And so in her apology video, all the comments were like, so you didn't really apologize. So it's like...
What's she going to apologize for?
What's she going to apologize for?
I'm just reading a thing.
She's just reading a thing. That's even funnier that it's a skit.
She's just doing a bit.
So she had to apologize for a skit to her... Oh my God.
She's just doing a bit.
And that makes so much sense because her name's like Rachel or something. Uh-huh. And when the guy responds, he calls her by name, like as if she's his HR person. Yep. And so when she said that, I was like, she's lying. Yeah. She's lying if she's saying that's a listener submitted thing because he called her by name. That's crazy.
Well, and that's the thing. She's like, and that's what she talks about. I'll send you the video where she's like explaining. She's like, when he said my name, I was like, I don't know this guy. She's like, but maybe I just messed up, and like they dig into all of it. Like, no. The guy was just doing a skit, and if you rewatch the video, you can kind of tell he's just kind of joking, like he's like, oh, he is not being serious,
right? But I'm a moron, dude.
I'm a moron.
That stuff scares me. I'm like, how could people ever fall for AI images? How could people ever fall for like this bit of news? And I'm a freaking moron. That's crazy.
I get mad at my parents, and I go, well, maybe I'm just at fault.
Yeah, we're the same.
Anyway, the last thing, and if we have you till here, that's insane. Yeah, I think I was. But the ending scene with Luthen and Cassian, amazing,
masterpiece. Yeah,
you're gonna when he did, what is the word that Cassian says to him? Just then do it, or are you gonna do it?
Yeah, take me out, or whatever.
I can't I'm so excited for season 2 because I forgot that's where it leaves off.
I know,
right there.
I know.
Like we know he doesn't die because of course Rogue One, but in my mind I'm like, I kind of want him to shoot him though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that'd be kind of like, oh. And he says, that's what you do for running away. Don't ever do it again.
Right.
Cool. But yeah.
But that's what I didn't realize upon this rewatch. I was like, we see nothing of Cassian in the rebellion.
Yeah.
Like he's just getting by, and then it's like born when he's in prison of like leading people.
Right.
But then he never like reconciles with that group he was initially with. I didn't realize that. Like all the way through this episode, they're still like, yeah, if you see him, kill him.
He's dead.
And
they
everybody's in agreement.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's, but and that he so good, such a great ending. He's like, oh my goodness.
Makes me so mad that there's only 2 seasons.
I know, this is it. It's
like you could do a third. You could do a whole second season with that same pacing of him like learning to be a part of that group, and then a third season. But that wouldn't be necessary. I think that's weird. Because the third season of him actually going out on rebellion missions would be like a little bit. Yeah.
You would lose people. Like, okay, we get the point. I've also learned that series have ruined me when it comes to movies. Yeah. Because when you have a series like this, you have such a long way to show character development. But how long of a movie would this have been?
Yeah.
It would have been like a 4 or 5 hour movie. If you...
yeah. If you cut all the episodes together?
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, but you see how much of a character development you get. When you get a movie, you're forced to 2.5, 3, and you have to jam pack all that in. And that's why sometimes when I watch a movie, I have to remind myself because I'm like, oh, he all suddenly is just on board. I'm like, well, it kind of has to be that way. You can't get this flushed out story unless you're doing a series. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, if you need some movie recommendations with flushed out characters, let me know. I have a movie podcast.
You'll send it my way.
The Witch, good one. Any of these toasters.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I had.
And that's all I've got too.
Look at that, tight 56.
56 under 1 hour. Even though we talked about Hulu, we talked about a TikTok, we talked about some other thing, fighter jets.
No, we didn't talk about fighter jets.
Sorry. Thank you for listening, everybody. We really appreciate you. Share it with your friends. Share your questions. We'd love to just sit here and because we're done with Andor now.
We're done with Andor. We're about to jump into Bad Batch. That's where we'll start. We're doing the other week, so we're jumping into Bad Batch. Come along. It's going to be a 3-episode opener.
Yes.
And I think we're going to continue. We talked about this. So real quick, we're going to do next week, in 2 weeks, and then the week after that, we're going to record. Because then we're going to be gone the next week. Or no.
Yes. Wait, when does Bad Batch season?
February 21st.
Okay. So next episode, what are we going to do? Are we just...
No, next Wednesday it'll be...
it'll be... What?
Let me see. What's
the 8th today? So in 2 weeks... Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we can... Yeah, because it'll be a Wednesday. So if we record... I don't know if we do it Wednesday 12 a.m. or what.
Yeah.
But we can record the next Thursday or whatever. So we'll be able to cover those next time.
Right. Okay, perfect.
And then next week we'll probably do it because we'll be gone for 2.
Wow.
We'll be gone for 1. It's going to get messed up. I don't know. If you're listening, you'll figure it out.
And that just reminds me of a quote. I thought there was this part in him about life being like a fast train or a fast... Don't let life pass you. But anyway, life's just coming at us fast, man.
That's right.
2 weeks, it'll be the end of February.
I know, isn't that nuts?
And you'll be a well-traveled person by then.
I've seen the world, basically.
Gosh, I'm so jealous. Okay, perfect.
Alrighty. Well,
thank you for being a disciple of the Force.